All right, Joe, let's get this show going, baby.
How about the Knicks, dude?
They'll bounce it back from 20 down.
And the Cavs' epic collapse.
That's brutal.
Can you imagine, like, if you were one of these people that decided to leave Madison Square Garden early?
Our good friend Rudy J from In the Building said that he posted on Facebook that he switched the game over to watch Euphoria.
Oh, God.
And that he came back and saw that they had lost.
He's like, what happened?
But, I mean, isn't that just a snake-bitten James Harden? How does he suck so bad in the playoffs? The dude's going to be in the Hall of Fame, and he does absolutely nothing in the playoffs. He's a regular season god, but just completely mortal in the playoffs. Just his entire career. 5 for 16 shooting. What a trash player.
We already got some people joining us. Real Bobby February's in the house. What's up, man? Sean Quintero says early today. Yeah, we're on time.
On time,
Matt
baby.
Thomas in the house. What's up, Matt? We got Leo Lopez. He says, hola, amigos. Salud. So, what's up, man? East Finals is trash.
Did you hear the chants coming from Madison Square Garden last night?
What were they saying?
We want Wemby.
No, they don't. The Wemby. The Wemby.
Let's see if I can find that on Twitter. Let's get this show
I think
going, baby.
the West is more battle tested than the East.
Oh, I just reposted it on Twitter right now. We got to show that at some point.
Area 210, where the dreams don't fade. From the river walk nights to the Alamo shade. We rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210, it's the life that we chose.
We are rising together on a rainy Wednesday, a game day Wednesday for the San Antonio Spurs. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. And this is the Area 210 podcast, powered by P.F. Chang's La Cantera and Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio. Stumbled over my words because I'm excited about Game 2 tonight, Joe, on the Peacock Network, NBC, 7:30 p.m. Spurs are favored to lose this game. Vegas has the Oklahoma City Thunder favored by 6.5 points. Joe, but I'm excited, Joe, and I'm here to make amends. You said that I showed my belly to the Jackals back in the day. I'm going to show my belly to number 5, Stephon Castle, today, because my prediction for the day is Castle's going to go off today. We're going to have a Castle performance, and you're all going to be like, Jimenez, you left with the fire station, all that stuff, but this is going to be the Castle day. Wemby went off in Game 1. We stole Game 1, but today's question, Joe, is, can the Spurs steal Game 2 and eventually sweep the Oklahoma City Thunder?
I think they can, but this is the thing I was telling Sean. Sean was getting mad at me. I said, realistically, what's going to happen is more than likely the Oklahoma City, it wouldn't surprise me if they win Game 1. I mean, not Game 1, but Game 2, right? On their home court there. And the reason being that it's hard to beat the defending world champs, right? They're the champs for a reason. And then Oklahoma's not a bad team. The Spurs are a really good team. They're built to beat OKC. But I think this is going to be one of those series where it's going to keep going back and forth. 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, and all the way to Game 7. Yeah.
The NBA wants a Game 6 or a Game 7 between these two teams because this has been the buildup from the beginning, the buildup since December, right? You saw the Thunder start off the season 23-1. You saw the Spurs stumble out of the gates. I mean, the Spurs were winning out of the gates, but the stumbling out of the gates was injuries to De'Aaron Fox and injuries to Victor Wembanyama and injuries to Dylan Harper. Yeah. And it was one of those things where the Spurs didn't really catch their groove until the Emirates Cup tournament. And they got through, and they beat them twice in December, and 4 out of 5 times in the regular season, and now 5 out of 6 times this year. The Spurs have played Oklahoma City 3 times in OKC this season. Won 2 of the 3. And you know how we have the Area 210 podcast, which is centered around a lot of Spurs, Cowboys, Texans talk, right? UT football. We're whatever interests the sports fan of San Antonio, Bexar County, greater area is what we talk about there.
Yeah.
There is a version of this show in Oklahoma City, Joe. that also has about 3,000 subscribers as well.
Really?
And I started watching it last night. It's called the Uncontested Podcast. So last night I drove from San Antonio to Conroe, had some drive time, some windshield time. I put on their podcast, Joe, and it's amazing hearing what Thunder fans are saying about the Spurs and what they're saying about Game 2 in this particular series. The fear is there, Joe. This wasn't one of those things where they looked at it and they thought to themselves, yeah, well, when they won the NBA Finals last year, they also lost Game 1. When they were in the Western Conference Finals against the Nuggets, they lost one of the games at home. And they said, Joe, on this podcast, the Uncontested Podcast, coming out of OKC, that this feels different. And they are now scared as Thunder fans. They're not this optimistic. We're the champions. You got to be the champ. You got to beat the champ. It's just Game 1. The fear that they had, Joe. One of the great takes that I saw from this podcast was they were saying when they lost those games, they were in control of those games and they blew it. Right? It was just like, well, say like the Spurs blew it, and the game got stolen from them, but they knew that they were the better team.
Yeah.
In this sense, they were saying, man, Oklahoma City almost stole this game from the Spurs, and everyone's looking around from Oklahoma City media standpoint to the ESPN types, the FS1 types, looking around, going, wait a minute, maybe the Spurs are just a better team. So, Joe, looking at this series, Joe, we're asking the question today. Is this a must-win game for Oklahoma City? Because I tell you this much, if the Spurs win tonight, it's not going to be Spurs in 5. It's going to be Spurs in 4.
You can break out the broom?
Break out the broom. And wouldn't that just be a shock to the NBA world that we are one game away from a 2-0 lead coming back to San Antonio? Joe, I don't care. Injuries would be the only thing that would stop the Spurs, knocking on wood. But if the Spurs are healthy and up 2-0 in this series, it ain't going back to Oklahoma City. It's just not.
You know what we need to do, Mike? If you saw that other podcast, right, you were listening to it, we need to have them on, dude, so we can talk about Oklahoma City fan, Spurs fan. We might want to invite them out, dude.
No different than Minnesota Pleasure that we had on a week or two ago, right?
He's on vacation right now. He's in Cancun.
Hey, man. Oh, by the way, before we get going, Downtown Eddie did an amazing job filling in this past week. So much so everyone's like, dude, did we get Jimenez's replacement? Baby, I ain't going anywhere. I closed on a house this week, man. I closed on my house. So I am back and hopefully better than ever when it comes to it all.
What do you say? We had to renegotiate your contract.
Yeah. I am the De'Aaron Fox to his Dylan Harper, apparently.
Man.
But we need to bring Downtown Eddie into the fold, man, and be part of the Alamo Sports Podcast Network and all of that stuff that's going on. Big things afoot, big things ahead.
Yeah, I'll let everybody know. I got a little something cooked up for Saturday. You guys got a big get. I'm going to be meeting with none other than San Antonio radio legend Steve Hahn. So me and him are going to have a little sit down and meet and greet.
Yeah. That's great, man. Can you imagine if we add more shows to this podcast with not only just the Area 210 podcast with me and you, but maybe we have something with Downtown Eddie. Maybe we have something with Steve Hahn.
Maybe,
and all of a sudden, maybe we have 4 or 5 daily podcasts coming out of this network to compete with Sports Star, to compete with Ticket 760. Because you know what, to be honest with you, I like the talent that we have on here, especially if we get Han, if we get Downtown Eddie. We have something that's different. It's something that's more in tune with San Antonio. Famously, we know that Sports Star, we know that Ticket 760 don't have anybody brown. And it's
if it ain't white, it ain't right, Mike.
It's still there. And not everything's racial, but in a city. An area of sports fans that have that's 60% Latino representation is important, man. And it's a different vibe, it's a different take. And I love my friends over there at all these different places. They do a fantastic job. But you know what? Add a little flavor, man. Got to add a little sugar to the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm excited about Game 2 tonight, Joe, because it's interesting listening to what Oklahoma City Thunder fans are trying to grasp onto. They're grasping onto, well, SGA is not going to have a bad game again. He's the 2-time MVP. Says who? Says who? Oh, well, Jalen Williams is just coming back from injury. Well, we didn't have De'Aaron Fox. Oh, well, Caruso's going to go off again. Why? Caruso's a 28% three-point shooter who had the game of his life. You think that's going to happen again? And they keep going down the list about, oh, well, all we got to do is this, as though Castle's going to have 11 turnovers tonight. I will guarantee you this, he will have single-digit turnovers tonight. It ain't going to happen again, right? So it's funny how they're grasping for straws, and at the end of the day, the series comes to an end tonight if the Spurs win. And you know that there are certain teams out there, Portland, when they played the Spurs earlier in the playoffs, when you saw Minnesota, what was their goal? Their goal was to come and get a split and then pray to God that they could hold serve at home. Wemby's not built that way. Do you think Wemby is going to go out there and be like, hey, we got our split, guys. Let's go out there and get our asses handed to us by 30. Let's get this Oklahoma crowd amped up. Or do you think Wemby's going to be out there going, nah, man, Chet, you're my bitch. I'm going to go out there and prove it yet again that you are my B. And he gets fire in his eyes. His eyes turn black. He becomes a serial killer when he sees Chet Holmgren out there. There's something about Chet Holmgren out there that just festers under Wemby in a good way.
It's like a shark, Mike. They smell the blood in the water and they go into frenzy, dude.
It's like a dog that senses fear, and just wants to attack, because they sense the fear. And sensing the fear is what Oklahoma City Thunder fan, again, check them out. It's called the Uncontested Podcast. It's coming out of Oklahoma City. It's 4 guys, and they were just there going, dude, we're in trouble. It dawned on them. And even the most optimistic one there was they're going, but we have no answer for Wemby.
Look at Joanne Gonzalez, Pinche Chicken Chet. You know what? The other thing that I liked is they should make a shirt that says, you don't know Chet, right? When Wemby dunks on him and all that, dude. It's going to be a good game tonight. It's going to be a fun game to watch. This is the game that all NBA fans are going to be watching. They're going to be watching Wemby and what San Antonio is going to do versus OKC. If OKC can get the win tonight, if Spurs can get the win tonight against OKC, I smell a sweep. But again, it's going to be hard to get that game 2 win. It's like boxers, right? In their middle of the boxing ring right now. And the Spurs, they got OKC on the ropes. If there's a definition of a must win, OKC has to win this game tonight to go ahead and even the series and stay in the series, right? Because it's hard to go ahead and win on another opposing team's home court, right? You don't want to go 0-2 and then have to go on the road and then come to the Frost Center here in San Antonio and try to go ahead and split the series or try to win both games. That's a hard get, right? So
imagine being on that side, Joe, and saying we've lost 6 out of 7 at that point to them this year, and we have to win 4 out of the next 5, including 3 in San Antonio. Get the F out of here is basically what I'm saying, Jay.
Yeah, but what I'm saying too is Spurs fans, they get excited. Oh man, the Spurs, man, they win this game tonight. They're gonna beat OKC. They beat them tonight. They're gonna go and sweep them, and it's hard. It's gonna be a hard game for the Spurs to win. It wouldn't surprise me, quite honestly, if OKC wins this game tonight. And I'm not saying that they're gonna blow out the Spurs. Of course, it's gonna be a very contested game. It's gonna be going back and forth. But it wouldn't surprise me if OKC wins this game. And like I said, it's hard to beat the defending world champs. And I think Spurs fans forget that. OKC is a good team, not taking anything away from them. But right now, the Spurs are coming for that ass. They're coming for that.
They are.
They want to put that BTA, that belt to ass, Mike. They want this.
Joe, look at the ratings for game 1. According to Real App, which has 150,000 subscribers, the Spurs Thunder game 1 had 15,000 more live viewers on Peacock than the Super Bowl.
No.
But as you said, they're coming to beat that ass, Joe. Spurs get that belt to ass, man. They're out to get them, Joe. And is it possible, Joe, that we were all wrong about the Spurs? Because you and I were on the right track about, hey, Vegas says 40 wins, 42 wins around there. We're like, no, this is probably a 48, 46 win team. Maybe they get to 50. But Joe, imagine if we were all wrong to the point that the Spurs are going to the NBA Finals, Joe. I mean, this would
Wouldn't that
be
be something?
this would be one of the greatest seasons in NBA history, not just Spurs history, in NBA history. Joe, let me ask you this question. Spurs go off and beat the Knicks in the finals, beat Oklahoma City. Let's say that we trounce Oklahoma City, beat them in 4 or 5, and then we win the finals. Doesn't matter if it goes 6 or 7, just win the finals. Would this be the greatest Spurs team of all time?
I think this would have been one of the greatest Spurs teams of all time.
No, but
To me,
the greatest one.
not the greatest one. The greatest one to me was the 2015 beautiful game Spurs, right?
Okay.
That was the cream of the crop right there. But this Spurs team, they have their own identity. They're going to be able to, form or carve their own history, right? That basically is what I'm saying. They're already exceeding expectations, Mike. We didn't have them winning more than like a handful of 40, 42 games or something like that. And we're like, hey, if they win more than that, they're exceeding expectations. They've exceeded expectations, gone far beyond that. And we look at where they're at. We're like, oh, they even if they get into the NBA playoffs, we'll see what happens with them. Well, they've exceeded expectations. They won the first round. They won into the second round. And now what are they at? Where they're at? They're in the Western Conference Finals. Nobody picked them to come out of the West and be right behind OKC. And they're built to beat OKC. If this team goes all the way to the NBA Finals, this is going to go down as one of the most surprising turnarounds, I think, of any San Antonio Spurs team from one season to the next. And just looking at the growth from Harper, Castle, Carter, Wemby, Vassell, I'm like, and then you're seeing like you have finally a backup center in Cornette. Like it's the perfect storm. Everybody's starting to come into their own. You can see that this team is special, and they got the city, and they got the fans believing. And I think that's the thing that is really coursing through the veins of San Antonio right now. Is Spurs fans, they believe, and you can feel that in the city, right? You can feel that electricity in the air once again with all the shirts and the vendors on the side of the road and the Spurs flags, the honking, everything. The city woke up, it's alive. And right now, it means so much to the Spurs fan base and also to the players for them to go all the way to the finals. If this team goes, Mike, this is going to be, I guess, one of the best turnarounds, like I said, of any Spurs team ever.
Joe, I love the 2014 Spurs team. And like this team is right now is built to beat the Thunder. 2014 Spurs were built to beat the Heat. They should have beaten them in 2013. They avenged their loss in 2014.
Yeah, that was on pop.
I will say this, Joe. The 2026 squad, we win the chip this year, is the greatest Spurs team of all time. Yeah. This team, as wonderful as the beautiful game was and all that stuff, would have annihilated that team in 5. In a 4 out of 7 series would have annihilated because of the Wemby factor.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes it different. And now the question becomes, does Oklahoma City then have to reboot? Dude, that podcast I was listening to yesterday from Oklahoma City, their version of Area 210 podcast was they're saying, dude, do we have to go get Giannis now? Do we have to unload the treasure chest? Because we need to do something to compete with the Spurs. Think about that, Joe.
Yeah.
The mindset of that fan base is we don't have enough.
No, what it is that they're realizing that Chet ain't it, dude.
And in fact, there's been some chatter that maybe you trade Chet to bring in other talent to try to beef up the guard play. What makes the Spurs different and difficult to play and difficult to beat 4 out of 7, beyond Wemby, is that 3-headed monster on the backcourt of Fox, Castle, and Harper. They all bring something different. They all get to the paint. They can all create shots. And maybe one's more consistent than the other. Maybe one's more sloppier than the other. Maybe one is more athletic than the other.
But that guard play is a problem.
But it's a problem. And then off to the side, if you get either Vassell or Champagny going off, woo, man.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. And the pure athleticism is there. The Spurs, I don't think the Spurs are built to get their asses handed to them. I think the Spurs are built to be in every single game, right? And if you look back, how many times did the Spurs get their asses handed to them this year? Like
Not
very
very
few.
often.
The Spurs lost some games this year, but they lost them at the last minute, whatever the case may be. And we're looking at a shot of Wemby, who I don't even think got off the ground. I think he just threw it.
But look at what it says.
It says Chet Holmgren is shooting 22% when guarded by Wemby this season. Meanwhile, Wemby has converted 52% of his shots when Holmgren's defending. Complete domination on both sides of the court. Again, I'll pay the dollar. Chet is Wemby's bitch.
You know what Chet says? You know what Chet calls Wemby? Or what Wemby calls Chet? He tells Chet, he looks at him at the court, I am Papa.
Yeah, I was going to say daddy.
Papa.
And that is great because Chet Holmgren is somebody who was in the top 3 in the Defensive Player of the Year ratings.
Yeah,
and he's the Timu version of it all. And it's funny how this team has materialized and has gelled together and has come together. And now the question is, who's going to stop this team? The Knicks have beaten the Spurs both times this year. And so that dynamic would be there. Joe, go onto my Twitter account if you can, Joe. I just retweeted a few seconds ago.
Yeah.
Outside of Madison Square Garden, after the Knicks came from behind, down 20 points in the fourth quarter to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals, the fan base over there, keep in mind, they have not won a championship since 1972. Right? It's been 54 years since they've won a championship. And the last time they were in the finals, they got bounced by the Spurs. The Spurs won their first chip. Avery Johnson, 15-foot jumper left side, Madison Square Garden. But let's hear what they have to say over here.
I'll play the full video. And this is courtesy of Sports Illustrated, by the way. They don't want that smoke, man. They don't want that smoke,
man. They don't.
Hey, you know what? We also got to go ahead and address a $5 super chat that's incoming from Spurs Ann.
Money talk.
Here comes the money.
And I kind of saw this. Thanks, Spurs Ann, for the $4.99 super chat. She's saying, Joe and Mike, did you see the Oklahoma newspaper compare the Thunder to Israel? They posted it on the X and then deleted it, dude. That's embarrassing, man.
I don't know about this. What is it? I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, there was in poor taste. They had put something out there and they were comparing the Thunder to Israel and then immediately kind of deleted it. But once you put stuff out on social media, somebody got a screen grab of it somewhere, right? Screenshot it. It's there forever. But I mean, nobody checked these things. Like before you put them out there, the editor didn't say, hey, let me take a look at this, you know?
Oh, so it's saying, quote, like Thunder, the nation of Israel is the underdog that has become hated.
Jeez,
and it says the column was removed by the newspaper's website, but as of this writing, it still lives through its syndication partners. So other news organizations that took it have ran with it. Yeah, bad taste,
poor
bad
taste,
form, you know. But we have a media share request over here from
media
Spurs
share
fans as
alert.
well.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get to the media share.
So for those of you who are new to the podcast, our media share allows you to share memes, photos, graphics, or whatever the case may be.
You just text them to us.
You know what? Not that far off, man. Not that far off.
MTV Cribs. This is Mike, and this is my crib. I am Mike, and this is my crib.
Dude, it's
oh
funny.
my god, dude.
My house is sweet, Joe.
Look at this, dude. This is funny.
Oh yeah. Freaking McLovin. Or Augie from the from Role Models, which I think is his better role, by the way.
And look
as
at
much
somebody,
as I love it.
Somebody put in the comments, bro, I hate that this is accurate.
Hey, Spurs are 6.5-point underdogs. So if you put money on the Spurs tonight, you put $100 and the Spurs win, you get your 100 plus 200 back. So you can more than double up 2-to-1 odds on the Spurs winning tonight. I got my ticket from DraftKings that I got when I was in Louisiana the other day. So I'm gonna cash that one in next time I'm over there.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this series, Joe, and It's amazing what Brian Wright has put together. It's amazing what Mitch Johnson, Sweeney, Williamson, all these guys that have come together. We wanted this, Joe, and I'm not going to be that guy that's going to be like I manifested this myself. You know, this was all because of me. But Joe, everything that the Spurs did when it came to tanking worked. Did we tank for Wemby? Hell yeah, we did. When it came to Castle dropping to number 4, what a blessing it was that the Rockets looked at Reed Shepherd and said, "Yeah, we'll take that guy instead."
Yeah.
It's a blessing also that the Spurs won the lottery again to move up to the number 2 spot. The Spurs weren't in that position to have a top 4 pick, but they moved up to the number 2 spot, got Dylan Harper, got the right players. Fox coming into town, getting that signing of Luke Cornett, Champagne on a good deal. You know, even the end of the bench players, whether it be Biombo or Olenek or Lindy Waters, are providing spark in practice, providing and then Harrison Barnes, by the way, accepting his role.
Yeah.
I love this shirt. If you see Wemby, Warner brother.
This is from Sam Salinas. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
And the other one with the MTV Cribs, that was courtesy of Spurs and so thank you for that. That was funny.
Hey man, she's not that far off, man.
Hey, but isn't that cool though? Like we can go ahead and be more interactive than other shows because we do have the media share.
We can, man. We can. And that's the great thing about this show is that it's listener driven. You and I have our takes, but it's listener driven. You know, it's we're 7 wins away. I told Chica the other day, I closed on my house on Monday. The Spurs won in double overtime. And I looked at her and I said, it was one of the greatest days of my life. You know, it was one of the
besides your kids being born.
the 25-26 season, I got my dream girl. The Spurs won the title. That would be the best Spurs season of all time. Of all time. So dream girl, dream house would be nice.
You know what we need, Mike, when we go to your house, when I go out there for 4th of July weekend? I think Sean has that little putting green, right?
Yeah.
We need to bring that, bust that sucker out, dude.
Gotta do something.
Drinks, Mike. We just, you know, hit up the putting green, dude.
Yeah, man. There's a little bit enough space at the Jimenez compound, man. It'd be nice, dude. But everyone's saying, let's see that ticket. No, I'm not going to show you that ticket because if I show you that ticket, you're going to use the serial numbers to try to cash it yourself. I'm not a stupid. I'm not a stupid. That's how we do it, brother. That's how we do it.
Yeah, you know what? Just because you said that, I'm going to have to play the video now. Let's go ahead and get the video for you, Mike. There it is.
Ole, 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 ole. You're stupid. Nice. Mexican Junior reaches out to us on our chat powered by PHX La Cantera. By the way, it's Wednesday. Half all bottles of champagne and wine because they call it Wednesday Wines Day over there at PHX La Cantera. He's like, hey, man, where are the parties at? Where the party at? You know, for games 3 and 4 and all that stuff. It's going to be raining, brother. I don't know, man. The little Woodrows of the world would be very difficult to watch a game because it's rainy. Dude, what's up with the rain, Joe? Like I'm looking at the maps. It says it'll be like 9 days in a row of rain.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite a bit of rain coming in. That's what it's forecasted for. But
that's good stuff, man. We need it. San Antonio needs it most definitely.
I just finished cutting the grass. Now I didn't do the edging with the brand new edger that I bought. It matches the lawnmower. It's a Makita. Yeah. Right. So I got to go out there and do the edging.
I was excited to get in this new house that I was going to be working on the yard because I actually do like working the yard. But then I saw how much yard there was to cut, and then I saw the angle because I have a very steep incline. And just then, this company comes by. They're like right down the street, and they're like, "Hey, we'll do your yard." And I just said, "How much? $60." Have at it, baby. Have at it. Spurs and it's called cloud seeding. It works, man. Dude, send that cloud seeding to Corpus Christi, man. They're running out of water literally right now.
Jeez. And then we had a thing in here from Tex-Mex Frank. Sorry, Tex-Mex Frank. He's the one that sent the MTV crib shot. It was from him.
Nice.
All right. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, and give us some love, man. If y'all are liking what you're seeing here right now, go ahead and hit the like button. We got enough people in here. Go hit that like button. Help us grow. We appreciate it, man. And we got something else inside the media share. I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys right now. This is what somebody else sent us.
Says, Dad, why is my sister's name Rose? Because your mother loves roses. Thanks, Dad. No problem. Spurs OKC Game 1 Western Conference Finals.
Everybody getting into it now.
That's
and
funny.
We do have, like you said, we just want to give shout outs to our sponsors here. And there's going to be PF Chang's. The chat is powered by PF Chang's and also by the Hard Rock Cafe, San Antonio. And if you'd like to go ahead and share anything with us as far as any links, pictures, whatever, go ahead and text them to us on our media share. Again, the number is 830-391-9164.
Spurs made an announcement today, courtesy of Carl Schoenig. You can follow him on Twitter at OnAirCarl. He's on Ticket 760. The Spurs are going to be playing ball. It's now official, and I heard about this earlier this week. But the Spurs are going to be playing 2 international games next year, one in Paris, France, the other in Manchester, England. This is going to be in January of 2027. So if you want to watch the Spurs internationally, go to England or France to watch that happen, Joe. And why are they setting the Spurs, Joe?
Because Wemby.
Because Wemby.
A rock star.
It's a rock star. You send your best, dude.
Is it going to be?
Send your best. They're not selling. They're not sending, the Kings versus the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
They're sending Wemby, superstar Wemby, to go out there, potentially NBA champion over there, potentially NBA Finals MVP over there, to go watch the Spurs play. And this is the rock star thing that the Spurs have. We have to enjoy this 8-year ride because we have him for 8 seasons, and we're 3 years down, 5 to go. And it's scary to see what is ahead for the NBA because, man, if Wemby stays healthy, we're going to be talking about finals runs each year, just like the Duncan years, man. Amazing.
Yeah. Look at this. They're going to have the game in Paris against the New Orleans Pelicans. Is it going to be Puros in Paris?
Puros in Paris, baby.
Media share. So they got another pick coming in the media share, coming in hot. And this was the best photo, dude. This is going to be on a shirt, I have no doubt, here soon. You're going to see it on Military Drive in Marbach.
Oh, yeah. The greatest photo in Spurs history. The Spurs have had 2 really good photos this year. This one and the Luke Cornett bow and arrow after the game-winning block.
Usain Bolt pointing to the sky.
Usain Bolt, right? But my favorite part, okay, there's so much to unpack on this right here, right?
Yeah.
Look at Luke Cornett on the top left, right? Let's go one by one. We have Luke Cornett on the top left. He's an NBA champion. He's been in the conference finals like 4 times in the last. If you go back to that photo, Ben, you see Luke Cornett and how excited he is, and shouting at his guy. And then I like looking at Carter Bryant on the left hand side. He's giggling. He's giggling. You see David Jones Garcia just having the time of his life. David Jones Garcia is not going to sniff the court in the NBA playoffs, but you know what? He did so well in the Summer League, and I'm happy for him, man. Look at the point from Kelly Olynyk. The point of, you the man. You the man. And then Keldon Johnson, who is a veteran, the most tenured Spur, just exhaling. Like, I don't know, how would you describe the face of Keldon Johnson on the right-hand side right there, Joe? It's a...
He's just like, ooh, that boy good.
I cannot believe what I just saw, look.
Yeah.
And then De'Aaron Fox on the right-hand side, all-star De'Aaron Fox, who missed game 1, just super excited, super proud. Like that scream that he has right there looks of pride and joy.
Tony says it's Kelly Olynyk is pointing like he saw an angel.
Kelly Olynyk is looking, and I mean every look. Jordan McLaughlin on the top left, like trying to peek over Luke Cornett's shoulder to be part of the moment. Everybody in this photo is perfect. It's perfectly framed.
It's a great photo.
It's amazing, Joe. 9 down, 7 to go. Will De'Aaron Fox play tonight? That's the big question, Joe.
I don't know.
Is,
Will he?
is he needed?
Yes, he's needed, Mike. I knew
Okay.
that was going to come up sooner or later. Do you need Fox? I thought it was going to be JHNSB that was going to say we don't need Fox, but the Spurs do need Fox.
I'm not saying I don't want him to play. I'm not
They're better
saying
with
that.
him. Yeah, and look, if you want to know where you can watch the game tonight, of course you can go ahead and watch it on the Peacock Network on NBC. Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals is going down tonight.
Mhm.
Tentatively, they have it slated for an 8:30 p.m. Eastern time tip-off, which is 7:30 our time. And roughly it starts around 7:40 after they do all the intros and the hype video and all that, which I really love, Mike. I love
Mhm.
the NBC, the NBA on NBC, and you see the hype video that's narrated before the game even starts. It gets you going, dude.
Nobody has ever done it better than NBC Sports, man. That goes back in time from the Olympics to the 90s
What
NBA
do you
on
say?
NBC.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. Joe, what has turned on the switch when it comes to the Spurs and rebounding? Remember, we had this debate about 2 weeks ago. We were like,
Yeah.
man, the Spurs aren't crashing the boards for crap. And now they are. They're not only winning the rebounding battle, but they're winning going away. Something happened where the Spurs were like, we're I guess being told, don't go back on defense. Go crash the boards, man. Try to get second chance points. I know it's just game 1 and we're going to game 2, and it may very well be a long series. But I'm looking at tonight's game and I'm thinking to myself, why not steal game 2? The blood is in the water. You could put, not only belt to ass, but you could put boot to back of neck.
Oh, Mike. What are they going to do to stop Caruso, man? They're going to let El Pelon go off on him? What's happening?
Let him. Let Caruso shoot 13 3-point attempts again tonight. Let him shoot another 13 more. Let him.
But Wemby can't let this brother body him. Like, Wemby, shoot over this brother, man. He's smaller than you.
He'll figure it out.
It's not hard, Mike. You get the ball. Caruso's in front of you. You shoot right over that son of a bitch.
Leo says Elmer. Does he look like Elmer?
Wemby over here trying to go down and body him and like give him a shoulder. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, just shoot over the dude.
Yeah, Tony Nella says Peacock, Mello, and McGrady are so boring. But you know what? They're not eating food at the start of the third quarter, so you take the good with the bad.
At least it's not Chris Webber, man. Count your blessings. Count your blessings. Webber was like one of the worst. The other guy that is one of the worst, absolutely boring, zero charisma. TJ Ford, man. Don't ever let that brother sniff on the announcing table again, man.
No, but I think it's with Amazon that I like with Nash, Nowitzki, and Carmelo.
Oh, yeah, but they done, dude, for the rest of the season.
Yeah, but that's a really good lineup there of people to listen to. But
Spurs fans calling Caruso lollipop head. Look at Tony says Joe acting like Caruso played at the racquetball and fitness. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, Wemby, you're taller than this guy. Just shoot right over him. You don't even got to body him up. Just shoot right over him. Barbecue chicken every time. Let him put Caruso in front of you. I bet you if Wemby starts knocking those shots down when they put Caruso in front of him, they're going to have to make a switch. They're going to be like, no, man, we can't let this happen. Because Wemby can actually put up like 20 points in one quarter if they keep putting Caruso on him. He don't got to do nothing but shoot over him.
Legion Hoops is reporting right now that based on the ratings that have gone on in the NBA, that the average game in the NBA playoffs this year has had 4.5 million viewers. That is the most watched playoffs season in 29 years. The highest watched of the 2000s is going on right now. And if the eyes of the sports world will be on again tonight when it comes to the Spurs and Thunder. And oh my God, Joe, if it is a Spurs Knicks final, that would be one of the highest rated NBA finals of all time. Because you have Wemby, the Wemby effect, the casual fans are wanting to watch Wemby. It's all about the casual fans, right? The diehards are going to watch regardless. But the casual fans who are tuning in going, who is this Wemby guy? Why? This is what's so stupid about it, Joe. This is what's so stupid about it. Casual fan who may watch only a few games per year, or maybe only watch their team. Pacers fan who watches Indiana games only, right? Or Clipper fan who watch only Clipper fans, or Nugget fans. They're now watching Wemby on a nightly basis.
Yeah.
And they're all asking themselves the question, how was SGA MVP again? Like how did this guy win MVP award when if you had a 30 GMs ask them the question, who would you want to have on like if it was a game of pickup ball and every GM had the first pick, how many of them would choose SGA? Not a damn one.
No.
Every single 30 GMs would pick Wemby. Right? And so Wemby, this is going to go down, especially if the Spurs win the title, as one of the stupidest things that sports reporters have ever done, and it shows how out of touch they are with reality. And it shows that they don't understand the game, that they don't know ball, right? Because Wemby is showing, and I remember watching Nick Wright from FS1. I am a big Nick Wright fan. I think he's very entertaining. I don't watch a lot of sports talk radio, but Nick Wright, for some reason, makes me laugh. He kept on saying, I keep on hearing this phrase about gravitational pull. That sounds so stupid. It's not a stat. And what's he saying this week? Man, that gravitational pull is a thing.
Oh, mamas, dude.
Yeah. And it's so funny because what he's basically saying about gravitational pull is that just by him being on the court, by Wemby being on the court, makes life easier for everybody else. Because why? Everyone's looking at the 7'4" alien. And if you have one eye on him, that means you only have one eye on your guy.
Yeah.
And the gravitational pull of the effect of the defense of, how is this not a stat? SGA drives in the lane, sees Wemby, drives back out. That should count as half a block, Joe. Wemby had 3 blocks in the last game, but he literally had, they counted, Joe, 20 plays in which a Thunder player went into the lane and bailed the F out.
And look at Texas Latina says, all them sports guys are flip-flopping, chancla time, including, let's not forget, Kendrick Perkins infamously said, that the Spurs weren't going to get past the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, I'm picking them to win the series, after he was singing the praises of the San Antonio Spurs. And also, let's not forget Skip Bayless, who has been rooting for the San Antonio Spurs, donning an OKC jersey. There ain't no room on the boat for you guys. Not anymore.
Most definitely. And the whole thing about Skip Bayless, he's so contrived, dude.
He's an idiot, dude.
He's there saying, I'm Spurs are my favorite team, but I'm from Oklahoma City and yada yada yada, right? I think that he knows that OKC's going down.
Yeah.
And he wants to do the woe is me thing. By the way, we have a media share coming on in from Josh Too Jolly.
Yeah.
That's coming in right now.
Yeah, we'll play that, but I wanted to get to this since I had this already on the screen. And this is from the Run It Back podcast. And this is Boogie Cousins talking about Wemby, saying that Wemby is what? The real deal, Mike. So let's listen to this.
This last night, and Nick Wright wrote in shout out because I don't always agree with Nick Wright, but this was a good one. 1995, Hakeem Olajuwon had to sit in the building and watch David Robinson collect the hardware for MVP, and his night that night for Olajuwon was a 41-16, 4-3-2 win. Last night, same exact thing. Wemby watches SGA win something he wanted, 41-24, 3-1-3. Like that is, I don't know. I don't believe in yes, I do. Who am I kidding? I'm superstitious and weird, and I believe in all that fun stuff. That to me is crazy. Never give the MVP award to the person if the other one thought he should have had it. We call it Mamba mentality. At some point, I don't know if that'll be called something else, but Boogie, it feels like this guy, this gentleman at such a young age, really is showing something that not everybody has.
Oh, he's special for a reason, and he's still young in his career, but I think this kid has arrived now. I think we're getting past the point of potential. Like, we're actually seeing what this kid is going to be right now in this moment of his career, and that's scary because he still has a lot of growing to do.
Yeah.
So, I think he's the perfect example of a young player coming in right now. The mentality, He cares about winning. It's not about the numbers. He cares about defense. Like everything you want in a young franchise player, he's the perfect example of that. So I mean, he's that guy for a reason. I mean, the numbers show it, the performance shows it, the presence shows it, the impact shows it.
So what he's saying for Wemby, it's like John Cena, Mike. The time is now.
Well,
It's the Wemby takeover, baby. Let's go.
well, look at how all these players from the past, from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, how they love Wemby. How they see something in him that's Jordan-esque. They see something in him that's Kobe-esque, who are two of the most revered players of NBA history. I think Jordan's one of the GOATs. You want to call him the GOAT? I'm okay with that. Kobe, I think, is top 10 to 12 player. But he was known for his quote-unquote Mamba mentality, right? Just basically wanting to beat your ass every time he had a chance to.
Yeah.
And they're looking at Wemby and they're saying he has the talent, he has the attitude, he has the swagger, he has the personality, he has the moxie, he has it all. He's articulate. You know, he's a European player. English is a second language, but guess what? He speaks it fluently.
Yeah.
Goes a long way. You can't cheer on a Nikola Jokic because you could barely understand him. But Wemby overcomes all those hurdles. And look at him with this graphic here.
Courtesy of the media share. People sending the stuff in the media share coming in hot. And it's saying about the refs. And I just saw the referee's assignment for tonight's game 2
The
between
Tony
the Spurs
brothers?
and Thunder. Yeah.
Well, Tony Brothers doesn't put up with a lot, man. He chased after a coach the other day.
He had to hold it back, dude. He ready to throw down. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Stop.
they almost give a flagrant to him.
Yeah. We got another media share that I'm going to put up here real quick because, like I said, they come in hot and heavy. It says Wemby versus Caruso. He does. He kind of does look like him, dude.
No lies detected. You know what pissed me off about
man.
Caruso the other day? He had a headband
Yeah.
and he had the Nike swoosh upside down, and it pissed me off. I was like, dude, come on, man. Wear the Nike logo correctly, right?
That's hilarious, man.
Joe, is this the NBA Finals?
It kind of feels like it, with these two teams. It's been a while since you had the number 1 and the number 2 seed in the Western Conference Finals going at each other. I think it was been more than a decade since that kind of the teams 1 and 2 actually faced each other, right? Because this has all the feelings of an NBA Finals matchup, right? But of course, you can't have two teams from the West. You have the East versus the Western Conference. But having two heavyweights go up against each other in this fashion on the biggest stage, I mean, this is a treat, a huge treat for Spurs fans and also for NBA fans. It's going to be the series to watch. And I mean, we've even shown the East even showed that, hey, we're here. We're still here because you had that miraculous comeback from the Knicks against the Cavs, and that game went into OT. So right now, it's a good time to be an NBA fan. This is what everybody wanted to see. It's good for ratings, and we got an incoming super chat, so we're going to play that right now.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
And it's $4.99 incoming. Thank you so much from Jas Avelar 210.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Go ahead, Mike.
He's another Spurs fan who lives in the Houston area. We actually had dinner a couple weeks ago. Josh Avalar comes out and says, pundits coming around to Wemby now that the Spurs are the only game on TV shows that these NBA MVP media voters don't watch the games. They're just box score readers. And that's possible, man. That's possible that they just watch the highlights on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
You know, that they're not watching these games day in and day out. We've heard players, thank you for the super chat, by the way, and the support of the show. We've seen this before, Joe, where you don't realize how good somebody is until you see them on a nightly basis. That's why Manu Ginobili is in the Hall of Fame. That is why Tony Parker's in the Hall of Fame. You look at these players and the contemporaries that they had. Each one of them will say, like I saw one the other day that had NBA players like Allen Iverson or players from back in the day, Carmelo Anthony, and they talk about who they think the underrated players were in the NBA. Guess who they said? They said Dirk. They said Manu. They said, Tony, that if they were on any other team, they could have been averaging 25 and 12. But because they were in the Spurs system and they revolved around Wemby and they knew their role and they accepted their role and their assignment, that they didn't put up the flashy numbers. But to a man, talent-wise, I mean, even Kobe said it. Kobe said, they asked Kobe, who was the best shooting guard that you've ever played against?
Manu.
He said one was Dwayne Wade. He said Manu was two.
He liked Manu's competitive nature out there in the court because
Yeah.
he was kind of the same as Kobe was out there as far as their competition, right? They'd get up and they wanted to play the best and beat the best, right? So he loved the way that Manu played the game and approached the game and the way that he was so unpredictable. He was hard to guard because you never knew what he was going to do.
Well, Kevin Garnett famously said, long-haired Ginobili was a problem.
He was, man. Prime Ginobili.
The way that he said was when he was Rico Suave. I love that quote that he does when it comes to all that.
No, that was the Obi-Wan Ginobili. That's the shirts that everybody saw on the side of the road.
But here's the thing about Wemby, and this is where I'm going to push back on Josh's comment. Wemby's transition this season, keep in mind, year one, he was kind of he had his deer legs, right? It was a little bit wobbly, right? Year two, it got a little bit more confidence, right? Had an injury towards the end of the season. We get Dylan Harper. Almost as though, Joe, that injury that he had was into the Spurs' best interest because without that injury, we don't get Dylan Harper. And think about that, Joe. Wemby goes down for 2 months. We get Dylan Harper. So, year three, was Wemby playing like an MVP to start the year? No, he wasn't. No. He was hurt. He was on minutes restriction. They didn't unleash him until January 15th or so. When the Spurs beat Oklahoma City in December, back-to-back games in the Emirates Cup and then the Christmas
emergence
Day game,
of Wemby.
That was all done with Wemby coming off the bench, scoring 22 minutes, playing 22 minutes per game. The point I'm trying to make is that the transition from where he's been in January 15th to February 15 and February 15 to now, that is when he went from being all-star type level player to MVP candidate to generational player. We saw that unfold, Joe, over the course of 4 months.
Yeah.
It was not a generational player. It was a generational talent prospect the first 2 years. But he hasn't been playing at an MVP generational level the entire season. It's only been the last 4 months. And it happened so quickly. It's like the game slowed down for him. We're looking at video of Chris Paul.
Yeah. This was him on the Pat McAfee show, and that was yesterday. So
I saw this. This was good.
This is actually really good. Yeah, I agree with you. So we'll go play that for everybody.
Class. Can you tell me about this, a little bit about what we watched? I love the game. It looked like both teams were making adjustments. Both teams were answering and responding. Obviously, the players do their thing. The coaching, though, I think a lot of us maybe just thought it was good, didn't really understand why it was good. Why was last night such a high level of basketball, you think, Chris?
First of all, the way these two teams play, it's just the coaching that gives them the confidence to play free. Like a kid like Dylan Harper, you don't come in as a rookie and make those different type plays if you're not being coached and motivated to just go play free and not worry about making mistakes. Obviously, Mark in OKC has those guys playing like that night in and night out. But playing for San Antonio last year and getting a chance to see the preparation that goes in every single day, right? Like Mike in there with the guys at 8, 9 a.m. before practice, going on all the ball movement and all this stuff like that. It's really dope to see it all come together. I was watching the end of game plays that they were running, the out of bounds play right here. So if you watch Steph Castle, this is the funnest part for me in basketball and all, is to watch the plays and the execution. So Steph Castle screens, and then he comes over here to Devin Vassell, and this is a slip out. Right, he's going like he's getting champ, and he slips out. He's wide open, right? But it's also great coaching by OKC because they got Chet on the ball, and it's just timing. Dylan Harper can't see the basket.
So the inbound couldn't see that he was wide ass open, so he threw it short instead of far side. He throws that far side. That's probably tip in 0.7 seconds. Holy hell! We just ran a design play for this exact moment, executed, won the game.
Yeah, and a lot of games come down to these situations, and some of the best coaches that I played for at the end of practice. Yeah, look at that. You can't see nothing. And Dylan Harper is a tall guard, so imagine me when I used to have to do this.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
So he's just going on talking about the X's and O's, but it's also good to hear from former San Antonio Spurs player Chris Paul. He's got a future as being a coach in the NBA, Mike. He really does.
Either as a coach or as an announcer for some place. I mean, he's
Yeah.
respected and revered by these players. And yeah, we punted. I don't know if you recall, we punted when we signed him.
I remember that. That was your,
I stand by it,
your
Joe.
infamous quote. And this is what it is. I'm going to play it.
It was a punt. This is a signal that the Spurs have no intention of winning this season. And did they?
And it's a punt into the future.
And did they? And was it a punt into the future? Yes. So thank you for proving that I'm right and having the receipts for me, Joe.
Oh my God. That was probably your worst take ever, dude.
No, it was an accurate take, Joe. It was
Actual and factual. That's what you're going to say?
Yes, it was a TLC actual and factual take. By the way, we have a lot of people on the chat right now, powered by PF Chang's La Cantera, saying that if the Spurs play the Knicks in the finals, that we have to release the Edgars to go attack the New York crowd who would come to San Antonio.
Release
Do we? Okay, imagine going to the Frost Bank Center, Joe, being in the lower level, and seeing Spike Lee and Tracy Morgan or Timothy Chalamet.
No,
There's Timothy Chalamet with Kendall Jenner or Kylie Jenner, whichever one.
It's Kylie.
Kylie coming out there. That would be funny. That'd be funny. Hey, let's show some love to our sponsor, PF Chang's La Cantera. Not only do they sponsor our chat, but it is Wednesday, so it could be a date night. I know it's rainy. Take your girl out to PF Chang's La Cantera for fantastic Asian cuisine. And today, all day today, half off bottles of wine and champagne. Make it happen. Let's give some love to PF Chang's La Cantera and our good friend Sean Quintero.
PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
Get the lychee martini. Get the lychee martini. Just make it happen, dude. $8.99 craft cocktail collection going on right now. Get the lychee. So
And
very,
again,
very nice.
it is Wednesday, so we call it Wines Day. So it's half off bottles of wine and champagne every day, all day on Wednesdays.
Keep in mind the smoked old fashioned is also, and the drink specials changed, by the way. So apparently we're getting notice that the drink specials are changing. We will revise that.
Yeah,
in tomorrow's show.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, I understand why Knicks fans are excited. It's been since 1972 that they've done anything like win the championship. 1972. Think about that. You know how Cowboy fans are like, man, it's been so long. It's been since 1996, and I joke that Mariah Carey was the number one singer at that time. One Sweet Day was the number one song when the Cowboys last won the Super Bowl. Boys to Men, dude. For the Knicks fans, 1972. What was going on in 1972? Like Vietnam? I mean, it was before disco, Joe. It was before us. It's been that long. And this is the so-called basketball mecca because they got Rucker Park and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But there they are on ESPN calling it the comeback of the century. The down 20 points in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson, dude, is a problem. And this team, Joe, the Knicks team, the reason why they scare me, is because they've got size. And they've got size to bully ball Wemby. You see Karl Anthony Towns down low right there. They have Jalen Brunson who can go off at any moment. It's not that I think that they're more talented than the Spurs. I just have some pause when it comes to the Knicks because the size of those players could really beat up the Spurs' athleticism. That's the whole point. I think the Spurs would still win the series, but I would think it would be a
It's
6 or 7 gamer.
matchup problem is what it is. The Knicks are a matchup nightmare for the San Antonio Spurs because they got a guy in like Cat, and they got some size on their team, and
Cat can shoot the three.
Yeah,
can't leave him alone.
he's hard to guard, and it's always going to be a mismatch for him, no matter who guards him, because it's not going to be Wemby. He's not guarding Cat.
You have to attack Brunson defensively.
Yeah.
You have to go after Brunson and go, dude, you might be a great player offensively, but you can't do crap defensively. And just attack Brunson repeatedly is all that they got to do. But the Knicks are playing well, man. I mean, you can't deny it. The Spurs would be favored in that series, but I'm just saying, they seem like a team of destiny right now. They're down 6 points with a minute 19 to go, and the Knicks get a huge three from the corner over there to bring it within
Patrick Ewing in there.
Patrick Ewing sweating like crazy. He glistens, dude. And then Donovan Mitchell throwing the ball away. That's the problem with Cleveland. Cleveland actually has a pretty sweet team, man. But they have players who wet the bed. And, you get these shots that just rattle in. It gives you the sense, Joe, that it's inevitable that the Knicks are going to win this series.
Yeah.
And that crowd is amped up. They have been so frustrated for 5 decades that they need this moment. And if the Spurs play the Knicks over there, the Spurs would have home court advantage. But the Knicks crowd, that's going to be look at that crowd, Joe. Look how amped up that crowd is.
Yeah, man, they're up for it, dude.
MSG is a great place to play, man. But if Wemby's going to go off and become the legend that he is, become that legend, Joe, wouldn't you want to have that legend begin in the Big Apple?
On the biggest stage?
On the biggest stage in the biggest media market in the United States. The guy from Paris, France, coming in and getting the chip. I mean, the stars are aligning for the greatest or for the most watched NBA finals in history. The stars are aligning, and it includes the Spurs, which is amazing because no one wanted to watch the Spurs when Tim, Tony, and Manu were running the NBA. We're leading the Spurs to five rings. They watched when we played the Heat.
Yeah.
Because that was the whole LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh thing, right? The Heatles.
And look, at this just goes to show you, man, like how bad of a deficit this was, right? For the New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers, right? And they're showing fourth quarter, Mike, 7:44 left to play. Cleveland was up 93-71.
Yeah.
And then it goes to show you the end of the game, right? In overtime. Cleveland 104, New York 115. That means that Cleveland only managed to score a handful of points. 11
points in the last 12 and a half minutes.
And there was some crazy stat that went out there, and it showed that the Knicks actually went on something like a 44-1 run or something like that. I mean, it was insane, dude. The amount of points that the Knicks were able to put up because Cleveland's defense just basically broke down, and they weren't able to knock down any of their shots. And again, could you attribute that to the curse of Harden?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, Harden is cursed, Joe. I mean, you said it correctly. That's a big deal. Harden just he does not come through in the playoffs. That's just not his thing. Sam Slin is saying he better not watch Spurs fans sell their tickets to Tracy Morgan or Chalamet or any of those guys. Likely, but you know what, baby? You know what? I mean, the almighty dollar wins every single time.
Yeah. You want to make more money? Who they got to call?
Got to give me a call, man. If you want to afford those tickets, give me a call at 210-508-0369. 210-508-0369. I handle investments, life insurance, long-term care. The podcast has been good to me. I have some listeners on the podcast who are clients. I have some that became clients because they listened to the podcast and they reached out to me by giving me a call at 210-508-0369. If you have a pension and you have questions about that, if you have an old 401k, an old 457, 403b, give me a call. I'll give you some guidance when it comes to it. And one of the things that I've been talking to people about is the fact that the market has been hot the last 3 or 4 years, and at some point it comes to an end. There's something that I can talk to you about called dual direction. which means that you can actually get a positive return even if the stock market goes down. So I can explain how that works. Get 7, 8, 9, 10% return on a down market, how that's even possible. Give me a call at 210-508-0369. Most people, the market goes down 10, 15, 20%. They go down, they lose 10, 15, 20%. With me, I can make it where you may go up 5, 10, 12% if the market goes down 10, 20%. Interesting. Give me a call at 210-508-0369. While we're at it, let's give some love to our good friends over at Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio.
The Hard Rock Cafe, San Antonio is Riverwalk dining at its best. With great scenic views along with its amazing collection of rock memorabilia, there is something for everyone. Enjoy happy hour weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with $8 and $10 appetizers, $5 domestic drafts, and $6 craft import drafts at the bar only. Try some of the Hard Rock Cafe's legendary steak burgers, or my personal favorite, such as the grilled salmon or baby back ribs. Make sure to visit the third level and enjoy the DJ as you take in the city skyline. The Hard Rock Cafe is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast. Yeah, and shout out to the Hard Rock Cafe. We appreciate everything that they do for us, and we are looking forward to doing our NBA draft party over at the Hard Rock Cafe in the month of June. We'll have more details coming out on that.
Yes, we will. By the way, our good friend Jeff Garcia, his In Focus podcast, congratulations to him. I spoke to him yesterday. He has 4,000 subscribers now. I told him, I said, man, when he parted ways with Locked On Spurs, he was at 10,000 subscribers. I told him, just get ownership of your own, man. Just do it on your own. And we had a really good talk about that. And congratulations to him for hitting over 4,000 over the weekend. I am today's guest on his show. We went super long, Joe. That was a fun show that we did. That's supposed to be a 30-minute podcast, and we went super long. But he just released it right now. Let me pause that. But
I want to also talk about something else here too, Mike. I wanted to go ahead and mention that as of tonight, if you're watching, the pregame on the Peacock, they're going to go ahead and be announcing the 2025-2026 Kia NBA All-Rookie Team. It's going to be announced today at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 6:30 p.m. our time, only on the Peacock Network. So it goes to show you the schedule that they have coming out. So
that's great. Thank you for showing this, Joe.
Yeah, today it's going to be the All-Rookie Team that they're going to announce right on the Peacock. On Friday, on May 22nd, they're going to announce the All-Defensive Team. And again, that's going to be 6:30 that they're going to announce that on the Peacock. On Sunday, it's going to be the All-NBA Team that they're going to announce again at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And this is the one that everybody's waiting for. Tuesday, Mike, mark it, May the 26th, Coach of the Year is going to be announced, but the time for that is to be determined. But I guarantee you, Spurs fans will be watching this because they want to see if Mitch Johnson's going to be named the NBA Coach of the Year.
Yeah, Mitch Johnson's in the running. He's in the final. He's one of the top 3 finalists for the award, so that's going to be fun to watch. All NBA defensive team. You have Wemby is obviously going to be on the first team, but the question is, will Stephon Castle be maybe second or third team All NBA defense? Yeah. Tonight we find out if Dylan Harper gets the love and respect to
Carter
be a
Bryant
first
too?
team. Carter Bryant's not going to be on there. He's not. There's way too many good rookies this year. I'm not saying that he won't be one of the top 10 because they name it a team 1 and team 2. He might get some votes, but he didn't have enough burn to make it happen. And you didn't need to play 65 games as a rookie, though. That's only for MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. But you're going to be looking at players like VJ Edgecombe, Con Knipple, Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper. Those 4 will most likely be in the first team All NBA Rookie of the Year, All NBA Rookie Team rather. But isn't it funny, Joe? Guess where they were drafted? Number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Everything went to form this year. So again, the announcement today, 6:30 San Antonio time, an hour before the game between the Spurs and Thunder.
Yeah, and we got Big Sean PD saying he thought the Pistons coach already won Coach of the Year. Not necessarily. That hasn't been official.
I bet you he will though.
Yeah,
the Bickerstaff.
Yeah,
very nice. So Wemby, I see that Wemby head behind you. Explain what's going on.
So these are the things that I bought on the side of the road over here off of Marbach on Puro Exit 7, front of right off of Loop 410 in Marbach. It's right in front of the Burger King. So they sell these fat heads back there. I got the Wemby one. You can see the old school Spurs logo behind me. And Greg actually put the lights on the chains and stuff too that I made with
Nice.
the 3D printer. I was going to start selling these things, but right now I'm on a little pause because one of my printers is on the fritz. So I got to fix it. Got to change the nozzle out. So I'm going to do that after the show. And I can get some product out. I know that way. I'm going to get back with you guys in the media share. But as soon as I get more product out, I'll go ahead and start releasing the pricing for it. And, we can ship them to you as well, but you just got to pay for the shipping. So that'll be coming.
Nice. So where are you going to be selling these things?
Just here, for the show, people want them. I'm not going to be selling them on the side of the road. Like, this is going to be like, if you want one, you let me know. You send me the cash. I'll print one out for you. And I already have them out, more than likely. I'm going to start cranking out a lot of product. And then that way we can just ship them off and sell them.
Nice.
Don't get sued. You see, this is the thing. You get sued if you go ahead and open up an online shop, right? And you start selling all this kind of stuff. But curiously enough, it doesn't seem like the Spurs go ahead and go after people that sell the stuff on the side of the road. And you know why? Because they don't have a website.
Oh, okay.
So they're not. You see, they're very careful about the way they sell things on social media. If you ever pay attention, they don't disclose pricing, right? These vendors don't. They put up videos and they say where they're at, and you can go visit them if you want, but they never say they're selling anything, right? They just post a video of it. 2, you see all these boutiques and stuff that are popping up all over San Antonio. They never disclose prices. They never say that they're selling stuff. They just say, we have new merch dropping, and they also show sometimes in the video other things that they're selling out there. But curiously enough, they don't get sued. The Spurs don't come after the roadside vendor. They're not coming after the boutiques that are selling all the Spurs merch. You know who they come after? The guys that are selling the stuff online.
Right. Do you know what this reminds me of, Joe? The Taylor Swift Eras tour was last year, right? And she toured, and whenever she went someplace, she would go do like 5 or 6 days, right? She'd go to LA for 5 days, Mexico City for 5 days.
Yeah.
When she was in Mexico City, they interviewed her and they said, we want to show you the merchandise that's being sold outside the arena by local vendors, right? And they brought her all the stuff that they had bought. And she was like, dude, the street vendors and what they create is better than what they actually had on her website at her shows. And she's like, this is beautiful. This is a great, and she didn't get mad about it, but this is what it reminded me of, because so you can go to the Spurs shop, right? You can go to the Rocket La Cantera. You can go to the Spurs, right? And get the Spurs merch, and it's the official, and it has the NBA logo and all that stuff, right? Great. That doesn't mean that it's any better than the street vendor, right? Because the street vendor might have a printing shop or use 3D printers or whatever the case may be. It could be even more fun, right? Because I want to see that. I want to see that Dylan Harper shocked look. I want that on a shirt right away. And when things are corporate, Joe, it takes so slow to make it happen. But the ones that are doing it on their own can make it happen faster, dude.
Yeah, they just had a story. I was gonna say they had a story. I think it was on KSAT 12, and they showed a dad, right, and his son 3D printing stuff that they're selling, like Spurs magnets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And how they turned their 3D printer. Like, I have 3 of them behind me. You can't see them; they're off to the side. But they turned that into a small business, and that's probably what I'm going to wind up doing as well, because I never knew, like, this is a money-making machine. Like, these machines, by the time I'm done, they're going to be paid off. They pay for themselves. But this is something that I saw here, Mike, I thought was interesting. And this was Shaq giving Wemby a nickname after his Game 1 performance. His American name, he says now, is Tim Robinson. And he said, Tim Duncan and David Robinson. Tim Robinson came out to play tonight, is what they're saying in the Spurs win against OKC in Game 1.
I like it, but
better than El Wembeyazo. Come on.
You got to add Kevin Durant in there, because, again, Tim Duncan and David Robinson were not going to be launching threes. The only 3-pointer that I remember Duncan ever hitting was against the Suns, and he turned around and went yeah.
Oh, and we have an incoming super chat, so let me go to play that.
Here comes the
And this is by William Van Beckham. Appreciate the $2 super chat.
Oh,
And
we
he
do.
says, lucky $2 for game 2. Appreciate you, man. I like that. That's pretty cool. But I was also going to say, if Elias is still here watching the stream, I did buy something finally that came in. I got my face paint ready. So they were saying that we have to settle our bet because they said the Spurs were going to get past first round of the playoffs, and I would paint or they weren't going to make the playoffs, so I would paint my face. So I got the face paint ready to go here, so I can do just that and take a picture. And I'm going to see if I can get my boys like Greg and Alex and Sean. We can all paint our face and take a picture of it. I think that would be pretty cool.
Sounds. Someone mentioned to me the other day that I said, and I don't remember this, so someone's got to pull up the receipts on this. That I said that the Spurs made the NBA Finals, I would do a show in a Spurs jersey without
You
my
did
without the
say that.
undershirt.
You said you would do a whole show with no undershirt on. I remember that.
And I'll show my pit hair.
Oh,
Preview.
bro. That's nasty, bro. When the guys put the freaking deodorant on and it's just caked on the freaking pit hair, dude. Like, God, that's gross, man.
You know what's funny about that, Joe, is that sometimes, okay, little thing that I've learned from Chica, right?
Yeah.
You know where the best place to buy hair care product and deodorant and all that stuff is? Ross.
Bro, I'm telling you, I went there. But here's the thing, dude. I'm always with my nieces, right? So I have all these girls with me. And I can't even go and shop in peace. And like I'm going to Ross and say, all right, let's see what they have as far as like deodorant and body wash and soaps and all this stuff that they have in the men's section. I go over there trying to mind my own business, look at stuff, and then my nieces find me. And they're like,
Yeah.
what are you doing, uncle? I said, I'm trying to get me some stuff to you know, like toiletry stuff, you know, like body wash and shampoo and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, let's see. And they all come over there and they start opening bottles and they're like smelling everything. They're like, this is the one. This is the one. Get
Yeah.
this one. I'm just like, oh my God, dude.
Have you ever done the Google image for pricing?
Yeah, I have. Where you just take a picture of it with the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Francesca, my wife, goes out there and starts Googling imaging things, and it says how much it costs on Amazon, right? And you're like, oh, well, this shampoo is typically $18, right? But on on Amazon, but they have it for $10 there. This deodorant is typically whatever. And you know, she says it's actually cheaper than buying on Amazon. It's going to Ross for shampoo and all that stuff. So I switched from gel to pomade. I'll be honest with you. I was rocking for about 30 years that Moco de Gorilla.
Jeez, dude.
And so she changed me out to pomade, right? Which makes my hair look wet the entire day.
Yeah.
And it's not flaking white, you know. I'm like, if my hair going to get white, I'm 49 years old. I should have white hair already, but it's not really there, right? It's black, right? And so I changed it. Well, the girl who cuts my hair every week touched my hair the other day and was like, you have new product in your hair. Your hair feels nice. What did you do? And I said, she goes, did you get away from that crappy gel? I'm like, yeah. So sometimes you got to treat yourself and get some good stuff, man. Treat yourself by going and getting some pomade, getting some
Pomade.
don't get the right guard or the speed stick. Just get your happy ass to Ross. Get a good brand and get it cheap. And I don't know how Ross sells it so cheap, but they do.
I like the man's Dove care products, bro. I get that. But my little nieces, like I said, man, these little girls are crazy. I got to leave them at home. I'm going to go do stuff like that because they just don't leave me alone. Like, how can they find me in the store? They're busy doing their own thing. And the minute I try to look at something for myself, I'm like, they just pop up. I'm like, where did y'all come from? Like, y'all were on the other side of the store. And it's like they can sense that uncle's going to buy something and they're just right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, man, these little girls be killing me, Mike.
Sam
But you know,
Smith says, stop the cap on all black hair. Dude, we've seen each other 3 times in the last few months. Just, Sam, my hair is 99.99% black. I got like 2 silver hair right here, and I got 1 right here on the sideburn, and that's it, man. It'll happen. It'll happen eventually. Just hasn't happened yet.
you know what? I got some new hair stuff for me too. So I went and got away from, like you said, using the old things, right? People are saying LA Lux, you're saying Moco de Gorilla. And the other time when I went to the get my hair cut and whatnot, they're like, hey, we're gonna try some of this. It's pretty good gel for your hair. It's not like real stiff. Your hair's not gonna be all stuck up and all hard and all that, like the old LA Looks or the Moco de Gorilla. So they turned me on to like a Paul Mitchell one, dude. Hey man, that's been a game changer, dude. It feels really good, because it's not all stiff and it just makes your hair look good. It feels
Yeah,
better.
it does. It does. I like this comment from Elias saying Dr. Squatch Bar soap is goated. Guess where they sell
Yeah,
it?
the squat.
They sell it at Ross. They sell it for cheap at Ross.
That's who my
Junior
boys
brought up
use.
something that I think is funny. He says, I got to use Degree for deodorant. All the other ones burn my underarms. Dude, have you ever had burned underarms from a reaction to deodorant?
It's
sucks.
horrible, bro.
The worst one, Joe. And does anybody still use this?
Oh
back
my
in the
God.
back in the late 80s in middle school, early 90s in middle school, going into high school, mid 90s,
Yeah.
using the spray.
Jeez.
Anybody use the spray
aerosol
anymore?
spray.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden your pits would burn and turn red. Oh man.
That reminds me of that athlete's foot spray that they used to use in the men's locker rooms when you'd be playing, football, basketball, whatever. People taking off their shoes afterwards and their socks to, take a shower and change and all that. And after everybody getting dressed, guys be taking out that little spray from the locker room or the locker. Shh. I'm like, dude, what is that? And they're like, it burns. I'm like, that's gross, man.
Like, does anybody still do that? Can you go get a I don't know, Menon? That was the brand, right guard.
Man, I don't know, dude. You got me, man. Use Arm & Hammer. Oh God.
Arm & Hammer's legit though, man. It won't make you smell good, but it won't make you smell bad. That's for sure.
That's what my boys use, man. They use that Dr. Squatch, like the Sasquatch. They have that stuff all over, man, all over the place. But I like this, man. My little nieces are the ones that choose this one. You remember you have this one, Mike?
I had that one, the bourbon one from Bath and Body
This is
Works.
good stuff, man. This is good stuff.
Yeah, I've got the bourbon one, I got the whiskey one. So I got the bourbon one in my travel bag and the whiskey one, which is the white container. And again, it's just lotion. They call it bourbon to get the guys excited to buy it from Bath and Body Works because they have, Bath and Body Works is like 90% women's stuff, and then they have that little aisle that has the dude stuff.
Yeah,
it's just so that we don't feel like we're feminine buying lotions because it says smoky bourbon on there. It doesn't even smell like smoky bourbon. That's just the name of it.
Yeah,
not bad.
We got an incoming super chat here.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
And William Van Beckham, he says, I was late to the show. Mike and Joe, can the Spurs sweep OKC? And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and the answer is they win tonight. Spurs win tonight. It's gonna be a sweep.
Yeah,
it's gonna be belt to ass. Spurs go out there. Wemby is a freak of nature. Wemby's not gonna be happy with the split. He's actually somebody who wants to win every single game. He has venom in his eyes when it comes to Chet Holmgren. And if the Spurs win this game and they go up 2-0, Oklahoma City's going to look at themselves and say, man, they've beaten us 6 out of 7 times. We're going to have to play 3 of the next 5 games in San Antonio, win 4 out of 5. Ain't going to happen, dude. This is a must-win game for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Spurs win this game. Go to Home Depot, go to Target, go to H-E-B, go buy some brooms because we're going to be sweeping their asses out of the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. You know what I just noticed? I was looking at the face paint, right? The stuff that I bought to paint the face. It says waterproof and sweat proof. Like, bro, is this stuff coming off? I would be like that one little girl they show in the video, I think it was on Insta, where she painted her face with the wrong paint and then it wouldn't come off. And then the mom had to finally put on like soap and water with a little washcloth and then it started coming off. But she was crying, bro. She was like, this is never going to come off. What am I going to do? I'm like, I'm going to test this stuff first before I put it on everybody, man. Because I'm like, does this come off with soap and water?
Yeah. Sam coming out and saying, have you noticed that the bros are taking over Bath and Body Works? Leave the wives at home. The guys are getting together at B&BW. Okay, first of all, I told Chica this the other day. I was like, babe, we need to have a giveaway for the show. You know, like when we have like the events at the for the NBA draft coming up. And I said a pedicure with me and Joe.
Oh God.
And she was laughing. She goes, that would be so great. I thought that she was gonna like laugh. And she goes, no, You need to introduce guys to pedicures. You just do. And I don't care how girly you think it is or how feminine you think it is. I get a pedicure once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks or so.
Yeah, that
And
ain't
it
happening,
is
bro. I don't like
freaking
nobody
amazing.
touching my feet, man.
Dude, you know what? I didn't like it either, Joe.
No.
Have you ever had one?
No, I
Joe,
don't need it. I don't need it.
Joe, you're missing out, man. That's like saying I don't like sex. Come on, man. It is sex for your feet, is what that thing is.
Oh my God, Mike, you just giving people gold.
I describe it some other way, but because we're going corporate and we're cleaning up our language, I'm not going to say it how I normally say it. But my goodness, dude, it makes life so much better.
Look at Sam. No, I won't do it because I don't want anyone touching or seeing my feet.
Dude, they get that cheese grater out and just grate the bottom of your feet. You're gonna be like half inch shorter because they're gonna grate all that crap that's on your feet, right? And then they pour honey on your legs. Then they put oranges and strawberries and they squish it on your calves.
Look at Joanne. Pedicures are the best. Rub the patas.
Rub the patas. It's amazing, dude. It's amazing. Get your
Rub
nails
the
done.
pata.
Trim your talons. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, dude. No, I don't. I'm like, why do I need to get my nails done?
No, that's a manicure.
No,
No, that's not
man.
manicure.
No, bro.
I've never had a manicure in my entire life. I think that's a little feminine, dude.
I'm not doing that.
I'm
either,
not Caleb
bro.
Williams.
No.
I'm not going to get a manicure. Okay, I'm not going to paint my fingernails. But a pedicure actually takes care of yourself. It helps your feet, man. You know what did Lieutenant Dan say in Forrest Gump? Always protect your feet, right? I know he's talking about getting from moisture and whatnot. Just do it, dude. Just do it.
Man.
Get a skincare routine going. Get those creams from Bath and Body Works, Joe. That's all I'm saying. Take care of yourself.
What's his name? Elias was saying that they have the Mandalorian products now at Bath and Body Works. I did see that, man. I was gonna go out there and check them out.
Sith says Mike sent me a pic of milk on his legs one time. Thought he stumbled across some cannibals.
Jeez, bro.
Let's see. I took a picture of that the other day, Joe. Tell me that this isn't fun.
Look at William Van Beckham. Sex for your feet. Now that's gonna be a catchphrase.
Well, I phrase it differently, Joe. I usually say a different phrase when it comes to it all. But like I said, we're being nice. We're not going to be Cochino Mike or Demon Mike or whatever the case.
No
may
more
be.
demon time.
Yeah, he's retired. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Still have the baddie brackets too. The baddie brackets have retired.
Turning the corner, Joe. Turning the corner is what it is.
I miss demon time, man. It was fun.
Well, I mean, you get demon time when you get to hang out with me, you know.
Oh my God.
I'm looking up past photos of pedicures, Joe. Tell me you don't want to have this, Joe. Just tell me you don't want to have your patas attended to.
Nah, bro, I'm good.
Tell me you don't want to have honey just drizzled over your knee and have it cascade all the way down to your patas.
Nah, bro, I'm all right.
Tell me you don't want to have hot water and a 30-minute massage on your calves and feet.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. They touch my feet, somebody getting punched in the face.
You know what? Even the cleanup version of "Sex for Your Feet" is funny, dude.
Put it on a shirt.
Although I do phrase it differently in real life.
Put it on a shirt.
That's what it says. Change the baddie brackets to sophisticated ladies of choice. You know, when Will Van Beckham said "sex for your feet," it reminded me of Serrano from the movie Major League.
Oh,
Hots
God.
for butts. That's the way that I read it.
Oh,
Getting
God.
stronger. That's what we're gonna see tonight when the Spurs play. Let's do our predictions for tonight, Joe.
All right, go ahead.
Prediction for tonight. I think that it's going to be a close game for the most part. I think the Spurs run away with it at the end. I think the last 3 or 4 minutes, we put it into overdrive, and the Spurs win this game Spurs are favored to lose by 6.5. I'm gonna flip the script. I think the Spurs win by 8.
Yeah. Now on this one, I unfortunately got the Spurs losing by at least 5 points. I think the Vegas odd makers got it right.
Joe Stradamus. You've heard from Joe Stradamus. You've heard from Mike Stradamus. Real fast.
Don't get me wrong. I think the Spurs are going to be in it all the way until the 2-minute mark, but I think ultimately OKC will win because they're going to get the calls from the refs tonight. The refs are going to help them out.
You think Tony Brothers is going to throw somebody out?
Yeah, I mean, he's not throw somebody out, but there's going to be some free throw merchant in full effect in those 2 minutes, dude.
Jason Garcia with his comment saying, "Want sex for your feet? Need to make more money? Call Mike."
Jeez, what a segue.
He asked about milky legs. That is true, man. They put body milk all over your legs.
No.
It's not real milk. It's body milk. That reminds me of Schitt's Creek when he goes, "Can you drink this body milk?" No, it's milk for your body. It ain't it's not milk.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to have to go ahead and end the show as I got to go ahead and start getting ready to go to work. Our systems have been acting funny, man. So it takes me about an hour now to get logged in to work with all this stupid stuff that's going on.
Second prediction, Castle goes off for 24 points.
Yeah.
And he limits his turnovers tonight to 4.
And you know what? The Spurs are going to have the return of Fox more than likely. I think Fox is going to wind up playing tonight. And Spurs fans are going to blame the L on Fox. That's my prediction. Yep.
That's funny. All right, fellas. Everyone have a fantastic day. Go Spurs, go. I normally say Spurs in 5, but F that. Win tonight. It's going to be Spurs in 4.
Bring out the brooms.
Very nice.
All right. We'll see you boys tomorrow. You all be safe. We're out of here. Peace.